Think your old, worn-out wheat penny is worthless? Think again. Money bag. In this video, we reveal the most valuable bad-condition Lincoln Wheat Penny coins that have sold for jaw-dropping prices, even reaching millions of dollars. Don't miss these rare dates and era coins that could be hiding in your pocket change. First up, the 1938 wheat penny without a mint mark is a classic and historically significant coin from the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series, officially known as the Lincoln Wheat Penny, which was designed by Victor David Brenner and first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, making it the first regular-issue United States coin to feature a real historical figure instead of a symbolic representation. The 1938 issue without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, because during that era Philadelphia coins typically carried no mint mark, while coins struck at Denver and San Francisco bore D and S mint marks respectively, and in 1938 the Philadelphia Mint produced a very large mintage of over 156 million pieces, meaning the coin is common in circulated grades today, especially in worn or bad condition states where heavy circulation has reduced the detail on Abraham Lincoln's portrait and flattened much of the wheat ears on the reverse. This coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighs approximately 3.11 grams, and has a diameter of 19 mm with a plain edge, and in heavily worn condition you will often see smooth surfaces, faded lettering in God We Trust, Liberty, and the date 1938, and on the reverse the words, 1 cent, and United States of America, may appear weak or partially merged into the field due to decades of circulation, especially if the coin spent many years in commerce during the late 1930s, 1940s, and even into the 1950s before being replaced by newer issues. Because the coin was struck before the major metal change of 1943 steel cents during World War II, it retains the classic reddish-brown copper appearance when preserved, but in bad condition it is usually dark brown or nearly black due to oxidation and environmental exposure, and collectors classify its color as brown BN when most of the original mint red luster has disappeared, red-brown RB when partial original luster remains, or red road when it is mostly original bright copper, though a 1938 no mint mark example in bad condition will almost always fall into the brown category. Grading for such a coin typically ranges from about good AG3, where the date is readable but very worn, to good G4, where Lincoln's outline is visible but most inner detail is gone, to very good VG8, where some hair detail begins to show, yet in poor or heavily damaged condition with scratches, corrosion, or rim dents. The value usually remains close to its common circulated price range, often between a few cents above face value up to perhaps $1 or $2 depending on exact wear and market demand, and while it is not considered rare in standard condition, certain rare varieties or exceptional high-grade mint state examples can command higher premiums, especially if they show strong strike quality or minimal contact marks. Historically, 1938 was the final year that the San Francisco Mint struck Lincoln Wheat Cents before pausing cent production there until the 1940s, which makes the 1938s more collectible in higher grades, but the 1938 Philadelphia issue without mint mark remains popular among beginner collectors because it is affordable and completes album slots easily, and despite its low market value in bad condition, it carries significant historical and sentimental value as a piece of pre-World War II American history, representing everyday commerce during the late Great Depression era when Americans relied heavily on small denomination coins for daily transactions, and many surviving examples show the honest wear of decades of circulation, which tells a story of economic hardship, wartime change, and post-war recovery. When evaluating a 1938 wheat penny without mint mark in bad condition, collectors look for problems such as cleaning, which leaves unnatural shine and hairline scratches, corrosion, which creates pitting and rough texture, rim damage, bending, or environmental staining, all of which reduce desirability, yet even a worn piece still retains its full legal tender status and historical identity, and because copper prices fluctuate, some people also consider intrinsic metal value, though the collectible premium generally exceeds melt value for any pre-1982 copper cent. In conclusion, while a 1938 wheat penny without mint mark in bad condition is not rare or highly valuable monetarily, it remains an important collectible from the golden age of the Lincoln Cent series, appreciated for its classic wheat reverse design, solid copper composition, and connection to American history, and it continues to be a foundational coin for collectors who seek to build complete wheat penny sets spanning from 1909 to 1958, preserving a tangible link to the past through a small but enduring piece of currency history. Next up, the 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark is a historically important United States 1-cent coin from the well-known Lincoln Wheat Penny series, a design created by Victor David Brenner and first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, and by 1944 this coin was being produced during one of the most critical years of World War II, making it especially interesting to collectors because it represents America's wartime economy and metal conservation efforts. The 1944 issue without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on its coins at that time, while Denver and San Francisco used D and S, and in 1944 Philadelphia produced an extremely large mintage of over 1 billion coins, meaning that in normal circulated and especially bad condition this coin is very common today and generally carries modest value. Yet its historical background makes it fascinating because in 1943 the U.S. Mint had switched to zinc-coated steel cents to save copper for the war effort, but in 1944 the Mint returned to a copper alloy composition using recycled shell casings from military ammunition, creating a bronze coin made of approximately 95% copper and 5% zinc without tin, in most cases weighing about 3.11 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters and a plain edge. In bad condition, a 1944 no mint mark wheat penny often shows heavy circulation wear with Lincoln's portrait flattened, hair details mostly smooth, cheek and jaw lacking sharpness, and the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 1944, appearing faint or partially worn, while the reverse side featuring the two wheat ears surrounding 1 cent and United States of America may show significant smoothing of the wheat lines and loss of fine detail, especially in grades such as About Good AG3 or Good G4. In many examples in poor condition also exhibit environmental damage like corrosion, dark brown or nearly black toning, rim nicks, scratches, or evidence of cleaning, which reduces collector appeal because cleaning removes natural patina and creates unnatural shine or hairline marks that experienced collectors quickly notice. Despite being common in worn condition and often worth only a few cents to perhaps $1 depending on eye appeal, the 1944 Philadelphia wheat penny holds a special place in numismatic history because of its wartime context and because of the famous and extremely rare 1944 steel cent error, which occurred when leftover steel planchettes from 1943 were accidentally used, making those few steel 1944 pennies incredibly valuable and worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. But it is important to understand that a normal 1944 bronze penny without mint mark in bad condition is not rare and does not command high prices. Collectors categorize copper cents by color as red (RD), red-brown (RB), or brown (BN), and a heavily circulated 1944 example will almost always be brown due to oxidation and long-term exposure, with little or no original mint red luster remaining, and grading plays a major role in determining value because uncirculated mint state examples with strong luster and minimal contact marks can be worth significantly more, especially in higher certified grades like MS65 or above, while circulated pieces remain affordable and widely available, making them popular among beginners building a complete wheat penny collection from 1909 through 1958. Additionally, because the 1944 penny was struck in such enormous numbers during a time of high economic activity and wartime production, many were saved in rolls and collections, further increasing the supply of surviving specimens. Yet each coin still serves as a tangible artifact of the World War II era, symbolizing the shift from steel back to copper and reflecting the recycling efforts of the United States during global conflict. When evaluating a 1944 wheat penny without mint mark in bad condition, collectors should check for authenticity by confirming the weight near 3.11 grams to ensure it is not the rare steel error, which would weigh about 2.7 grams and be magnetic. Inspect for doubling or die cracks that may add minor premiums, and avoid harshly cleaned pieces if seeking long-term collectible value, because originality and natural surfaces are always preferred in numismatics. In conclusion, While a 1944 wheat penny without mint mark in bad condition is generally a common and low-value coin in the marketplace, it remains historically significant due to its wartime production, recycled metal composition, and connection to one of the most dramatic periods in American history, and even a worn example carries educational and sentimental importance as part of the enduring Lincoln wheat cent legacy.